Welcome to Monday Nitro, folks, right off the heels of Clash of the Champions. And it looks like we're going to start with the World Champion. Let's take you to the ring. Last night, I went up against Carl Anderson, one of the members of the Bullet Club, one of the founding fathers of the Bullet Club. I defended my World Heavyweight Championship crown. Now, Carl Anderson said that he was going to have more coming down after me. So I say this, I'm standing here right now. Why don't you come on down and let's settle this and bring the whole group, because I don't give a damn. Tonight I end the Bullet Club right here where it started. Definitely in droves tonight as Carl Anderson, John Bernard, Doc Gallows, and Bad Luck Fale would all slowly start to circle the ring. They looked up at Balor as Gallows was the first one to enter. Bernard entering after, and then the rest as well. They slowly would just circle Balor, who stood there ready to fight off all of them. But Anderson got a hold of him right. You got lucky last night, I'll give you that, Finn. I never said you didn't have the talent and you didn't have the skill, but you don't have the numbers. You want to put an end to this tonight? Then we're going to put an end to it for you. 4 of us against 1 of you? You have no allies here, Finn. And tonight, we're going to shoot you to pieces. Well, it looked like Balor did have a little bit of backup here. 3 legends backing him up tonight as Brett, Steve-O, and Sting were going to hold their ground. Anderson looked over at his group and said, "The hell with it," and then a melee took place. Bodies would fly everywhere as all 8 men would just punch and kick at each other. Eventually, though, the legends and Balor would slowly start to overtake, and the club were sent to the floor. Anderson was hot as he would slap the ring, wanting to get back inside, and got a punch for his efforts back to the floor. Alright, hold on. Let's not have another brawl out here, folks. Bullet Club, Balor, Sting, Steamboat, Brett. Apparently all 4 of you, all 8 of you, want to have a fight. So here's what we're going to do. I don't have the main event booked here tonight. So we're going to have in one corner the Bullet Club against World Heavyweight Champion Finn Balor, Ricky Steamboat, the Icon Sting, and Bret the Hitman Hart. That is your main event of Monday Nitro, folks. Let's get this show started. What a huge announcement indeed as Anderson screamed out that they were going to rip all 4 of them apart, slowly making their way to the back as they were starting to devise a plan. Balor just looking over at his 3 would-be de facto saviors, nodding to each one of them, still not knowing why they went to save him here tonight, but was damn grateful, as Nitro finally would begin with its opening contest. The opening contest was John Morrison against Kevin Owens, the recently released from bail Kevin Owens, and he was not in the mood tonight. He went right after Morrison as if he stabbed his sister. Not that he would probably care either way, but Morrison was able to keep him down and was able to keep him going for the early half. Owens would get more and more frustrated as the match carried on, able to finally get in some offense on Morrison and dropped him down with the pop-up powerbomb, scoring the win. Owens was definitely not a happy camper, grabbing Morrison and just threw him to the outside, telling him to never, ever, ever come back in his ring again, making his way to the back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kevin Kelly, and I am sitting here backstage with reigning F5PE World Champion Chris Jericho. Now, Jericho, tonight you're going to go one-on-one with the Enigma Jeff Hardy, and the F5PE title is on the line. But one question eludes not only me, but the rest of the wrestling universe, and that is your match with Shinsuke Nakamura. A couple weeks ago, he came down, asked for a match, and you unequivocally nodded, saying that you would give him his match, and even on War you said that you were going to give him his match. The Clash of the Champions happened and no match took place. So we're all wondering, what happened? If you would just shut your mouth for just a minute, jackass, I'll tell you exactly what happened. You see, Shinsuke Nakamura thinks that just because he came down and asked for a title shot, that he gets the title shot. You see, that's not exactly how it works around here. You see, I am the best in the world at what I do. You understand what I'm saying, right? Do you understand what I'm telling you? Just because you come down and ask for something doesn't mean you get it. I nodded in response to his challenge, but never said that he was getting a challenge. Now, if Shinsuke wants a title shot, then all he has to do is actually win some matches. All he has to do is prove to me and the world that he's worth a wrestling match, a title shot against me. Until that day happens, Nakamura can bitch and moan and cry and whine about wanting a title shot, but he's not going to get it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to dispose of some trash in the ring. And take notice, because this is how a real champion fights a challenger. Well, this was definitely a match worth seeing. Jericho versus Hardy definitely lit up the crowd and definitely got everyone screaming from their chairs. Jericho, obviously the wily veteran, but Hardy was definitely no will of the lies. Able to keep Jericho grounded, hitting him with his high-flying aerials, not only to the ring, but also to the outside. Hardy, of course, throwing caution to the wind. One small mistake gave Jericho that edge, trying to put him away with the code breaker, but somehow Hardy was able to counter out of it, almost catching Jericho with a roll-up. Jericho felt a little bit agitated after that one, hitting Hardy with one hell of an enziguri, then hitting him with the lion salt, but missed. Hardy going for the twist of fate, but Jericho spun that around, dropping him with a code breaker, and just for added measure, locked him within the lion tamer, forcing him to tap out. He would yell at the ref to give him his championship, placing it around his shoulder, and would yell at Hardy to not even dare try this again. Looking over and would start to make his way to the back, saying that he was going to be the king of the world for a long, long time. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up, rise, and sing your praises to the new United States champion, Bobby Rude. Last night I did exactly what I said I was going to do, and that, you hold that title up nice and high, Bobby. I became United States champion. I beat the common man's common man, and I did it with the greatest of ease. If some of you people here would actually appreciate the specimen of man that you have standing here before you, maybe, just maybe, some of the greatness would wash off and you wouldn't be flipping burgers, you'd actually be dipping fries. The Bobby Roode celebration is going to continue, and I am going to hold this title until I am tired of holding on to it. Just like I will hold on to this title so long as there are beautiful women in this audience, and there are very few and far between. I'm going to say it right now. You need to be at least 5'3" to 5'6", have a pair of double D's, and know how to swallow. And also knows when to come as she's told, kneel when she's told, and know how to make a damn good sandwich. I am Bobby Roode, the savior, the inspiration of the National Wrestling Alliance. And tonight, I will prove my dominance once again. Bobby Roode against Matt Hardy, and no, the title was not on the line here tonight. That was by Roode's order. Hardy went right after Roode, able to drop him down with wrestling, but Roode had that power game and was able to toss him around and dropped him with heavy suplexes and big-time clotheslines. Hardy had to fight to get out of the block, started to use his high-flying game to try to wear Roode down, but the hidden factor was definitely a factor indeed. Hardy getting distracted for a half a second as it gave Roode a chance to catch him with a kick to the jaw, followed by the payoff. Scoring the win. He got a hold of his title belt, Heenan making sure it was nice and polished and shiny, just nice. He looked at himself in the reflection of it, rolling out of the ring and placed the belt over his shoulder, making his way to the back, grabbing a blonde on the way, knowing he was going to have a fun time tonight. She had a long night of work. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kevin Kelly, and I am standing here with the Bullet Club. Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, Bad Luck Fale, and Giant Bernard. Tonight, you guys are getting the main event, going up against Finn Balor, Bret Hart, Sting, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. A huge main event, to say the least, which will compete with any other program all over the world. I don't know who the mouthpiece is here, so someone please take it away. There is no mouthpiece, you jackass. The only thing that there is are results, and that is exactly what the Bullet Club is giving here tonight. Damn it, you beat me last night. Congratulations, that's great. You beat me, but as you can see, there's still more artillery. You got the big man, Giant Bernard. You got the even bigger man, Doc Gallows. You got the really big man in Bad Luck Fale, and waiting in the wings, you don't see him here, but he just might be lurking around. You have Kenny Omega. You have the Young Bucks, and maybe, just maybe, you might even see AJ Styles pop up. We have an unlimited supply and unlimited artillery to shoot you down. And you think that tonight you have just a little bit of legendary backup that's going to help you? You think that's going to slow us down? I don't know if you're aware of this, but the last 2 times that any team or any faction or any group has tried to take us down, we have stood the test of time. The Horsemen tried to do it, and at Starrcade, 4 Japanese legends tried to do it, and they didn't get the job done, did they? We're still standing here. We're still standing the test of time. The only thing you did, Balor, Devitt, Fergal, is align yourself with 3 shields that are going to get shot down, mowed down, and they're going to bleed to death in the middle of the ring. All you did was buy yourself a little time to escape in the back like the coward chicken that you are. Tonight is going to be epic, Kevin. Tonight is going to be epic because 3 legends and the world champion are going to be put on the shelf permanently. And I think the real question you have to ask yourself, can you trust your allies? Because let's face it, you have no friends here, Devitt. You have no friends whatsoever. And do you really think you can trust these legends as far as you can throw them? Because we all know there's bad blood between you and all 3 of them. If I were you, Devitt, I'd stay in the back and let the legends just die in their place. Be the smartest, perhaps safest thing you can do. And at the house show this Tuesday, when Doc Gallows goes up for you for the title, maybe you can just lay down. He'll just give you a curb stomp and put you out of your misery once and for all. Quick, painless, easy, just like tonight's main event. Get your DVR set, because you're going to see a fight of a life.
Contest here for one fall is the semi-main event of Monday Nitro, and it is a Chick Fight exclusive. Introducing first, she is Nia Jax. And her tag team partner, she is Natalya. And their opponents. First, from Charlotte, North Carolina, she is Tessa Blanchard. And her tag team partner, she's the reigning Women's World Champion, Charlotte.
This was an impromptu tag match here on Monday Nitro. While Charlotte and Tessa appeared to be on the same page, Jax and Natty were definitely not. Jax was screaming at Natty to just stay on the outside and not worry about tagging in. She was going to handle it all on her own. She went after Tessa in the early bout, able to just toss her around with her dominant size and her strength. She tosses her the buckle, slamming her down over and over again. Tessa, though, able to get her right in the ribs and tagged out to Charlotte, and that's who Nia really wanted. She charged at her, but Charlotte was a little bit too quick and a little too wily and spry, able to trick the Jackson, able to drop her down several times over.
Charlotte would kick Nia to her corner. Natalya tagging herself in, getting inside, but then got tagged right back out. Natalya barely got 3 feet in the ring as Jax tagged herself back in and told her to stay on the outside or else. She then went right back for Charlotte, who got the best of her, driving her with a drop toe hold, making quick hot tags back and forth with Tessa as the two of them were able to take her down. Natalya just standing there, just watching as Nia would get dropped down, locked within the figure 8, and was forced to tap out. Charlotte and Tessa scored the win here tonight. Charlotte raising the title up as she would move out to the outside, making her way to the back as Nia just sat there holding her knee in agony. She slowly rose up looking at Natalya, screaming at her as to why she didn't help out at all while she was in the figure 8. Natalya saying, hey, you didn't need any help, and started to leave. Jax went to pull her back as Natalya dropped her with a clothesline. She then would pick up Nia, toss her to the ropes, and dropped her with a power slam. She'd shake her head and made her way to the floor, making her way to the back, just rubbing her jaw slightly. Jax losing an ally here tonight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, explosive semi-main event. I am Kevin Kelly once again, and I'm standing here backstage with Finn Balor, your current World Heavyweight Champion. In just a couple of minutes, you're going to go down that ring, and you're going to face the Bullet Club with 3 huge legendary allies, Bret the Hitman Hart, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and the Icon Sting. I don't know how you're able to pull this off, but please, your words.
Even the devil himself has to have a little bit of help, I guess. Did I set anything up? No, I had no idea that they were coming to my aid. And I know, as Carl Anderson said, there's a little bit of bad blood. But you know, they can all be washed under the rug when you have a common enemy. The Bullet Club, perhaps my fault. I'm the reason why they're here, and I'm the reason that's going to have to take them out. Tonight, it's 3 legends in the World Heavyweight Champion against the Bullet Club. I think we have one hell of a chance of finally putting them down and out for good. Now, as it's come to my attention, it seems that the Bullet Club has finally reached their dream, and that's expanding to other companies. Now, I know Kenny Omega's not here tonight because he wouldn't have the balls to show up and face me one-on-one or face any one of my tag partners. As far as the Young Bucks and AJ Styles go, the door is wide open. You want a shot at me? Come get me. Because I'm not going away any time soon. As far as the Bullet Club is concerned for tonight, they're about to be executed in the best possible way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of Monday Nitro, and it will be an 8-man tag team match. Introducing first, being led down the aisle by Serena, they are Carl Machine Gun Anderson, the Heavy Arms Giant Bernard, Doc Gallows, and the Underboss, Bad Luck Holly. opponents. Introducing first, he is the reigning World Heavyweight Champion, Finn Balor. From Calgary, Alberta, he is Brett the Hitman Hart. Well, hallelujah, why he is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And from Venice Beach, California, he is the Icon Sting.
This indeed was a main event for the ages. Anderson telling the club to be on the lookout and be ready for tonight. As Balor just stood there, he looked at the legend saying that he wanted to start off tonight, handing the title belt over as he, as Anderson, started the night off, and away we went. Anderson and Devitt had the rematch that they had last night. Anderson, though, was a little bit hot-headed and a little bit too quick-tempered as Devitt was able to drop him down. He would make a quick tag to Steamboat as Steamboat would put the heavy on him, tagging out to Bret Hart, who would then put the heavy on him, locking him in submissions and teaching him a lesson. Tagging out to Sting, who, well, let's face it, was the Angel of Justice and had no problem in distinguishing his foes. One by one, the Bullet Club would then start to enter the ring, but then a Fate Man melee would take place. Bodies start to fly all over the place as the club would then toss right back to the floor, just like they were earlier that evening. Once the club regrouped, they would toss the big man in there, Giant Bernard. He would stand there and just laugh at Sting, who just looked at him without any kind of fear. They went eye to eye and would trade blows. Bernard shoving the Stinger, who just yelled at him and started to strike at him with clubbing blows. Sting would unload on him, tossing him to the buckle and hit him with a Stinger splash, grabbing him by the head, picking him up and just body slammed him down. He got the crowd to rally as he would hit him with a shoulder block, another shoulder block, and then a drop kick, making a quick tag to Rick Steamboat, who climbed the top rope, leaping off and nailed him with a flying chop, quickly covering. Only a 2. Steamboat and Bernard would battle, going back and forth with clubbing blows. Bernard able to outsmart him just on one small thing, getting him hit right into the head of the turnbuckle. He used his size and his power, hitting machine gun elbows to his head, tossing him to the Bullet Club's corner and going to tag out to Fale. Fale hit him with hard forearms and a hard knee to the ribs, tossing him to the buckle and missed the big boot. Steamboat cutting off the rope and nailed him with a crossbody. A quick hard double chop to the chest and a suplex. Making a quick tag to Brett, who came inside like a ball of fire, hitting him with a drop kick right to the stomach, then dropped him with a DDT. Climbing the top rope and hit that Bret Hart elbow. Go over the sharpshooter, but he got kicked into enemy territory. The Club quickly pounced on Bret, beating upon him as the ref tried to get involved. During the confusion, Doc Gallows was tagged in, pushing Bret to the buckle and would just punch and nail on him. He set him on the top rope, dropping him with a superplex, screaming out that he was going to finish him off, picking him up, going for the Gallows pole. But Bret slid free, getting him with a schoolboy. Only for two. Gallows missed a clothesline as Bret got him with the running neck breaker. Rolling to the corner and would tag in Finn, who leapt in like a ball of fire, hitting Gallows with a drop kick, another drop kick, an arm drag, and then the switchblade. He moved to the corner, getting ready, charging, and nailed him with a running boot to the face. Climbing the top rope, but he got distracted by Fale, saying screw it, and just jumped and leapt at the Bullet Club, taking all three members down. As you guessed it, another melee would take place. Finn rolling into the ring, going after Fale, who got hit with a cheap shot right between the legs. Gallows then rose him up for the Gallows pole and then dropped him down. He then went for the cover, but it was broken up by Steamboat. The melee slightly spilling into the ring as the referee finally got control. Balor was in trouble though as Gallows started to beat and punch on him. He hit him with those heavy slams, tagging out to Giant Bernard, who splashed him in the corner, placing him on the top rope and dropped him with a super belly-to-belly suplex. He would then tag out to Fale, who stood in the ring tall, looking down at Balor and just kicked him along the ribs and the spine. He dragged him up and dropped him with a vicious 1, 2, 3 power bombs. He then heard Anderson screaming his name as he walked over and tagged him in. Anderson sliding in like a snake, just screaming, there's your team, tag him out, tag him out, tag him out. Coming off the rope and then punching him over the back of the head. He moved over to enemy camp and would just spit at the Hitman and give a finger to Steamboat and Sting, backing away and the hit Devitt with a clothesline. He was setting him up for the KA-47, jumping for it, but Devitt slid free, quickly making a hot tag to Bret, who charged on Anderson and tackled him down. They would brawl a little bit as the Club would then spill back into the ring once again, but just as you thought, a third melee would take place. Fists and kicks would just fly all over the place. Bodies now starting to exit the ring as they started to just do battle. The referee just keeping control inside the ring as somehow Anderson caught Bret with the KA-47. He then rose up, getting ready for the pin, and he was nailed with a silver bullet by Devitt. Dill was then dragged to the outside by Fale as they would battle on the floor. Sting and Steamboat having a battle against Doc and Bernard, making their way slowly towards the staging. Back in the ring, Bret had recovered and so did Anderson. Both of them exchanging blows as Anderson went for it once again but got dropped by Bret, who quickly locked him within the sharpshooter. Anderson was in trouble as Fale came in with a chair, looking to smash his head as Balor hit him with a silver bullet, knocking him to the floor. Serena would then come into the ring with a lead pipe, but Balor had no problem grabbing her and just tossing her on her ass on the outside. Anderson having no choice but to tap out.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of Finn Balor, Bret the Hitman Hart, Sting, and Ricky Steamboat.
What a hell of a victory here tonight. What a hell of a main event. Devitt just looking at Bret and just smiled at him, shaking his hand and rose his hand, looking down at Anderson and just shook his head, grabbing him and just tossing him to the floor like trash. The Bullet Club are going to have to regroup here tonight as Balor got a hold of the world title, raising it up in the air for the crowd to see, turning around, and got nailed with a steel chair by Brett! The Hitman held onto that chair nice and tight, looking over at Devitt, who was slowly pulling himself up, holding his head as he turned around and got nailed a second time over the head. Brett would slowly drop the chair, grabbing a hold of the world title and just dropped it on Devitt's chest, not even seeming to care about anything that was going on around him, just seeming to focus on Devitt. He then slowly made his way to the fray ropes and would slowly start to exit the ring, removing his singlet and started to make his way up the back, not even looking back at what he had done. Devitt completely laid out as a couple of extra officials came down to check on him, as Nitro would fade to black. And the results for Chick Fight. The opening contest saw Natalya go one-on-one with Nia Jax. A rematch, of course, will happen from the fallout from Monday Nitro. As Jax did her absolute best, it was Natalya who dropped her with a sharpshooter, forcing her to tap out. The second match saw Kana go one-on-one in It's the Classic with Mickie James, and while Mickie had the high-flying game, it was Kana who forced her to tap out to a rear naked choke. Third match would see Lita and Sexy Star team up, defeating the team of Emma and Dana Brooke. The semi-main event of the evening was Tessa Blanchard going one-on-one with Mischief, and this was perhaps going to be the match of the night. Tessa able to avoid the green mist and dropped her down with one hell of a slingshot brainbuster, scoring the win. And in the main event, it was Women's Champion Charlotte actually defending her title against Winter. And while Winter went right for her, trying to tear her to pieces, it was Charlotte who scored the win with the natural selection. And the results for New Japan War. Nakamura said in an interview, Jericho wanted to see proof he was worthy, he would do it, as he went up against John Morrison. These two had, quite literally, the match of the decade, going for nearly 22 minutes as Nakamura scored the win with the Bomayani. The second match would see Sami Zayn go one-on-one with the Enigma Jeff Hardy, and while Jeff did his best, he was unable to drop away from the Blue Thunder Bomb of Sami Zayn. The semi-main event would see Taka Michinoku go one-on-one with Tiger Mask 4 in another instant junior heavyweight classic. Tiger Mask did absolutely everything he could to try to put the Invincible One away, but Taka got him with the flash kick, knocking him out. And in the main event, it was Chris Jericho putting the FIP Championship on the line, saying because that's what a champion does, as he went one-on-one with Ultimo Dragon. And these two had quite a contender for a match of the night, as Ultimo went for the Asai DDT, but Jericho countered that into a stunner, dropping him, stunning him, and then caught him with a code breaker, scoring the win. He slapped the FIP Championship and said if Nakamura wanted it, he would still have to have a better match than him and have much more better credentials than he, as the show came to a close.